Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In this episode, I'll be covering all 8 levels in the Omegada Master Series 2, which was designed by Omegada. I'll be going through them in numerical ascending order. First up is Crash Stockpile with 3 plays and a score of 1. I'll be giving my overall thoughts on each level individually, and then all of them as a whole. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. I guess this door opens up from the right side. We have other pathways now. I wonder what's to the right. Perhaps a special weapon we can acquire? There's the boss door. What's here then? Clearly there must be something here. I'm a bit confused with this stadium's multiple pathways. FR. I wonder what that stands for. And I can only unlock the key door from the side where I get the key. This stage is a lot more open than I initially expected it to be. There's the hyper bomb. I need it, but I don't know where I'm gonna get it. I guess it's located somewhere to the right then. And we're at the end of the level. I guess I overlooked where the hyper bomb was. It's probably located up that ladder of that pathway which I didn't take. Thankfully, it was super weak to the Buster. This was a strange stage. It was quite wide open and had multiple pathways, and the Hyper Bomb was hidden somewhere. Second up is Mag Train with 2 plays and a score of 1. Now we gotta deal with magnets. What does that say? Runs? Now we're boarding the train itself. We've acquired a Crash Bomb from the previous level by defeating Crash Man, so we are intending to play these in order. Let me double check something. Yeah, this door is blocked off from this side. Upwards is blocked off, what's to the left? Just some extra goodies. So down we go. I believe FR is Omegada's signature, or it's a reference to something, similar to how GB stands for Gigaboots. This underwater segment feels a bit empty. Of course, I could say the same with the previous level, but that felt more packed. Oh, that doesn't lead to a path downwards? That wasn't clear there. And the level editor could not have added drop shadows anyways, as this level was made pre-version 1.5. Could have put spikes down there instead. The upper path is probably the easier route, but I'm missing out on the key door. Or not. These levels are strangely easy. It's more noticeable with this stage as it's more spacious and has fewer enemies than the previous one. There's Magnet Man, but what's down the door? Nothing, of course. This stage just existed, I guess. It wasn't really that interesting. Third up is Stone Cavity with 4 plays and a score of 1. Going to be longer than the last one. In fact, we start the stage at the end of the last level. That explains why that door was located there. Not to mention that we have the magnet missile from Magnet Man. But where do I go to next? Probably up there then. Where do I go to next then? Down here? It could have been made a bit clearer. It was next to a checkpoint, so I guess it's understood that way. Because of how open these stages are, I don't blame you if you get a bit lost. It seems that the way these stages convey where you're supposed to go through next is by placing checkpoints. I do like it when stages have multiple routes through them, but I wish these stages had better conveyance. Thanks for the heart. I hope I'm not going backwards. I'm hoping that the weapon blocks being here means I'm going in the right direction. Oh, this was optional. Well, I'm fine with that at least. At least all the paths merge into one for the final part of the stage. And it's done. The next stage will take us upwards. Forward up is Bubble Puddle with 3 plays and a score of 1. What happened here? Did we fall through something or blow up something? Because the mines are flooded now. And the stage is lagging a bit too. That's a bit worrisome. So we started off at the stockpile, got onto the train, probably destroyed it, entered the mines, and blew up part of the mine, so now it's flooded. So far this stage is fairly straightforward. I don't see any alternative routes, or any route splits. I say that this stage is up there with the Mag Train. Most of these stages I say are kind of bland. They don't focus enough on their unique gimmicks. At least you can't get lost in this stage. With the Mag Train, it's more obvious where you're supposed to go through next, but with stuff like Crash Stockpile, it's more difficult. And I probably missed a secret up there. Probably the rush coil. Now the stage is starting to split up a bit. This was just a treasure room, or refill room. Can I make the jump? Not quite, I need a rush coil, which I missed. Oh well, it probably leads up to a neat tank. By this point for these stages, the alternate routes are either for getting the rush coil, or for getting an extra E or M tank. And conveyance is getting better. I just wish the stage ran at full speed. I guess that's where I start the next level. Or one of the pickups I missed. For all I know, it could be either. It was more focused, but still kinda bland. The stage isn't over yet actually, that was the midway point. I won't complain too much about the lack of checkpoints as this stage is on the easier side. However, it's running at a slower pace, so if you end up dying, you end up losing more progress than usual. So now we're climbing out of the flooded mines. Always weak to the last weapon we got. Fifth up is Wooden Carapace with 8 plays and a score of 1. Made it to the second half, and this stage is much shorter. So we've escaped from the flooded mines and now we're in the forest. And honestly, I'm not really enjoying myself as much. The stages all feel kind of bland and unfocused, and for two of them a bit confusing of where you're supposed to go through next. These levels need to focus more on unique gimmicks to stand out more, and perhaps compress them a bit, as some of the challenges get a bit repetitive. I think we're climbing up a tree here. Two routes, either going down or up. Let's see what's up. Regardless, we're entering a tree. Let's see what's down over there now. Now we're scaling down the right side of the tree. A much shorter stage, I'm fine with that. I probably also missed the extra pickup up there, but I'm okay with that. In terms of alternate pathways, I feel this stage did a much better job than all the previous levels. It's much more obvious where you're supposed to go to next. So Woodman's weak to water here. Out of the bunch, I say this is the best so far. Sixth up is Cutter's Sky Bridge, with 2 plays and a score of -1. I guess this side of the Sky Bridge was connected to the tree. Now we're entering the mountains, and enemy base situated in them. I like how in this level series we start from a stockpile, go all the way down in the mines, going down to the flooded portion, and then we ascend all the way up to these mountains. I think we end off this series in space. Oh, that last jump was actually easier. In fact, I could have failed this challenge earlier, and I would have been fine. I wouldn't hit the checkpoint though. So in effect, most of that previous section was optional. That was a goof on my part. See what I mean? This challenge was actually optional. The only reason why I don't want to fail it is because I lose access to the next checkpoint. Oh well, at least it makes the stage easier. In fact, it leads over here, so the fastest way is to just jump down there. The fastest and easiest way. Well, that's a bit of odd design. Of course, that's actually a bottomless pit. Let's try this challenge again. The first few screens are usually bottomless pits, but it's the ones afterwards which lead downwards. Pretty easy to get E-tank there. In general, these levels are on the easier side. This is on the harder side, but not by much. This stage's design feels backwards, where the easier route is faster and the harder route is slower. Certainly had the most action of all the levels, and I didn't find a place to actually use the key at. Of course, that was a midway point, and many of these stages have multiple alternate routes, so I'm probably overlooking some extra goodies or some extra special weapons. This time I'll take the right route. And this is where I actually spend the key. Did all these stages have these optional keys? Well, I can actually reach it now because for all this time I actually had access to Rush Jet, but I didn't check the menu. Silly me, that would have made this stage so much easier. That's it, I'm using Rush Jet here. I really hope I don't run out of energy. Alright, that was the last part. So let's go down there and finish this level. No checkpoints here, by the way. There should have been one over there. Now the stage is suffering from checkpoint starvation. I know it's on the easier side, but once we got through that section, it got significantly harder. At least there's more action going on in this level, but much of it is waiting action until you get to the last few sections. At least for those who can't cheese them by failing them. Wait, he isn't weak to the Hyper Bomb. Fine, we'll do it this way. Overall, I like some of the ideas of the level, but it needed better polish. 7th up is Ringmans Portal, with 3 plays and a score of 0. We just crossed the sky bridge, so where are we going to next? So what I said earlier was right. We are going to space. We're now essentially in a space station, I believe. These force beam gauntlets are rather forgiving. I'll go through this route once I hit a checkpoint. If there even is a checkpoint nearby. If not, I'll continue onwards through the stage as normal. I guess you're forced to use Rush Jet here, as well as during that last section. It's basically a shmup segment. Let's go down over there instead. Hopefully I'm not going through the stage backwards. The way the enemies are oriented makes me think I'm going through it backwards, and yeah, I went through it backwards. As I just reset it, let's see what's on this route. The Gemini laser, so it was a good idea to explore this side. I wish there was a checkpoint right after that door. Is that it? That's the end of the level? Once again, the boss is immune to the optional special weapon of the level. This is the worst weapon to be weak to. At least Ringman never jumps to the left. And it's done. So the 8th and final level of this episode is Let's Do the Time Warp Again, with 16 plays and a score of 3. So far I feel that the levels in the second half of the series are generally better than the first half. They are more compressed, there are less stretches of quote-unquote dead air, and there's more action. Essentially, we're now in Time Man's space station of sorts, or research facility. The levels in the second half are also a lot less confusing to navigate through. They have much better conveyance, barring some oddities, for example in Cutter's Sky Bridge, which I feel I was a bit too harsh on. I don't mind some of the challenges being optional, I just wish it was made a bit clearer. Plus, the first 3 screens of the first half of the crash lift sections, they were not optional. If you failed them, you died. And I do like how all these stages have their optional routes. I just wish it was a bit clearer knowing where you're supposed to go through next. Oh, I thought I had enough time there. Sorry for the jump cut over there. I actually had to do a quick reset due to a technical issue. See, this stage does not suffer from checkpoint starvation. Its checkpoint placement is good. In fact, I feel the levels get better in general as you get further and further along in this level series. Just for some extra insurance. And I know I am about halfway through, as the countdown indicator in that room said 5. and it appears that each one of these sections focuses on the use of a different enemy type. With the last one, it was shield attackers, the one before it, it was killer bullets. ETHERONG? That's my username. Why, thank you, Omegada. Gigaboots. The final stretch, I guess. We even have separate routes now. Let's go for the E-Tank. That'll be more useful. The bosses tend to be immune to the special weapon you acquire in the stage. It seems there's a checkpoint placed after every 2 sections. And out of all the levels in this series, this feels like one of the longer ones. The other level that's close with this in terms of length is Cutter's Sky Bridge. Time to finish off the series. Guess I'll have to rely on the Mega Buster then. And it's done. This level is also on the more challenging side, but it was made up thanks to all of those extra checkpoints. If it had the lack of checkpoints like Cutter's Sky Bridge, it would be much more difficult. In fact, I say that this is up there with Wooden Carapace as being my favorite level of the series. In general though, I say that this level series was okay at best. The first half were below par, the second half were okay at best. See, I feel with the first half of the levels there were issues with proper conveyance, and there was checkpoint starvation issues, and the levels were just too big. They needed to be more compressed, and the challenges needed to be repeated less. I know the challenges were repeated also in the second half, but because there was more variation, it helped make up for that fact. Each stage you need to focus more on its set of own gimmicks, because otherwise they blend in with each other. I like how these stages are done in chronological order, and I like how there's a story behind it. We first start in the crash stockpile, board the Mag Train, get into the stone cavity mines, flood the mines, we escape from the mines and enter the wooded forest, climb up a tree, get onto a sky bridge, enter a space station, and then finally enter a research facility where we face off against Time Man. I just wish that each individual level stood out more and was better designed. Oh well, it was still better than OMS1, that's for sure. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!